I think that we're in for a very exciting year in the world of credit cards, with the Citi Strata Elite set to be the next premium travel credit card to hit the market in 2025. But don't fall into the trap of getting too excited, feeling like you need to go apply right now to get your hands on this new premium travel credit card that's new to market. And for me, I don't see myself applying anytime soon, unless there's some crazy credit or benefit with the card that I don't have currently in my wallet that fills some sort of a gap that I don't really see right now. And there are several different reasons that I'll cover in this video why I don't think it's a good idea to go out and apply right away. The Strata Elite's benefits, credits, spending multipliers, and even the design of the card has been kept a big secret by Citi up until this point, with very limited leaks going on throughout the internet. But there has been a lot of interesting information coming out recently over these last couple of months, which has increased sort of the buzz and the allure around the card, hopefully launching within the next couple of months. I guess when these rumors started, it would have to date all the way back to 2021, when Citi announced that they would be closing and no longer accepting applicants for their Prestige card, which at the time was their most premium travel credit card. I personally was not into the credit card game at that time a few years ago, and I didn't actually hold the Prestige card, but from what I understand online, it feels like the card really kind of ran its course and was definitely due for at least a refresh or to be taken off the market, which is the route that Citi decided to go. Over the years, the card's benefits were slowly but surely nerfed into the ground with things like their trip delay insurance, which at the time of launch was actually the best in the market, but eventually it was actually removed altogether by Citi. Other things like the 4th night free benefit, which gave you a statement credit if you were staying at a minimum of 4 nights at a hotel for both the room charge and the taxes and fees. Eventually, Citi announced that they were reimbursing you for the taxes, and even after that, they announced that it would actually only be for stays that you were booking through Citi's travel portal. Other things like removing access to American Airlines Admiral's Club, and even increasing the annual fee, which isn't really a huge deal given that most, if not all, premium travel credit cards seem to increase their annual fees every couple of years. But given all these negative changes to the benefits and the fact that Citi actually started devaluing thank you points, I think it was definitely time for, as I said before, at least a refresh. And I guess thinking back to it, it does make sense that Citi finally did cancel applications for the Prestige card. During the card's lifetime, they actually did maintain a lot of strong benefits like a $250 travel credit, access to different golf courses, and access to airport lounges through Priority Pass, which most premium travel credit cards have nowadays, but it was definitely a nice value add to offset the $495 annual fee. In terms of spending multipliers, this card was actually very competitive and still is for those who still do hold the card, getting 5x back on restaurants for both in-person and takeout, as well as 5x back for airfare and travel booked through travel agencies. The Prestige card also offers 3x back on hotels and cruise line purchases and 1x back for the rest of your spending. The fact that this card can give you 5x back on restaurants actually is the highest multiplier that you can get for that dining category specifically, beating out things like the American Express Gold card and certainly all the cards that now fall into that 3x back on dining category. And when it comes to the Citi Strata Elite, I think we can make as many predictions as we want, but I guess the safest starting point is to look at some benefits and spending multipliers from the Prestige card. As I said in the beginning, I definitely don't think that I'll be running to apply for this card right away, but if it does have 1 or 2 strong spending multipliers like that 5x back on dining, setting itself apart from all the rest of credit cards in general, and being competitive with things like the American Express Platinum offering 5x back on airfare, I can definitely see why a lot of people may potentially go for the Citi Strata Elite card right away, and how it could potentially raise a lot of buzz and be the new shiny toy in the credit card game. Some of the news that came out towards the end of 2024 are what sparked videos like this, where people are giving their takes on what the Citi Strata Elite could potentially look like. The first one coming in November, when the Doctor of Credit reported that Citi was filing a trademark for what they were calling Citi Strata Elite and also Strata Lounges. This would make a lot of sense, with the Citi Strata Elite following the same naming convention as the Citi Strata Premier, being sort of the big brother to that Premier card, which may earn in either some different categories, offer some more premium benefits, or could potentially just be a more premium card version of that Citi Strata Premier. And in terms of the Strata Lounges, we'll talk about that in a bit. Also reported on by Doctor of Credit in December of 2024 was the news that Citi would be the exclusive credit card issuer of all American Airlines credit cards starting in 2026, converting the existing Barclays cards into Citi cards by that time. This new deal that was signed signed all the way through the end of 2036 would make American Airlines the exclusive travel partner through Citi. And don't get me wrong, I think that is a great way for Citi to really make a name for itself and start to rival some of the other bigger issuers like Chase or American Express. So going back to those Strata lounges, it is exciting, don't get me wrong, but I think you need to look at a couple of different things to really understand how much potential there is for Citi to really be getting into this airport lounge game. Think about the other top lenders right now, like Chase with their Sapphire lounges, CapitalOne expanding their lounge network across airports, and American Express continuing to build out and renovate their existing Centurion lounges like the one at Boston Logan Airport, which I look forward to taking advantage of, where they're adding tens of thousands of square feet. There is less and less space as more and more lenders continue to either expand their current lounge network, build new lounges. There's really just limited square footage for Citi to come into these airports, into different terminals, and buy up all this real estate. Think about all the time that will actually take to not only make sure that the deal is done, signing the lease, going through all that legal red tape, and also the time that it will take to actually build out the lounge itself. So I think a safe bet would be maybe the first Strata lounge opens in 2027 at the earliest. So I think looking at the short term, there's not much value in this sort of rumored Strata lounge and assuming that the Citi Strata Elite would come with that lounge access. But when switching over to other lounge access, I think it's a no-brainer for Citi to come back with Priority Pass membership. And that's actually an opportunity for them to do something that none of the other premium travel credit cards are doing right now that they actually just got rid of, which is that Priority Pass restaurant. Outside of Priority Pass, I think we will definitely see, even if it is very limited, some form of access to American Airlines Admirals Club. Honestly, in my opinion, without a Strata lounge coming out for at least the first couple of years, I think they will actually have to give you access to the Admirals Club. And I think the easiest way of doing that is doing something similar to the American Express Platinum by limiting you to 10 visits to Delta Sky Club every year. They definitely can't just give out free access to everyone with the Citi Strata Elite. That'd be a very tough start to the partnership with American Airlines, and I'm sure would piss off a lot of existing American Airlines loyalists. Having all these new excited Citi Strata Elite card holders coming in and flooding their lounges, which they worked really hard to get by being an American Airlines loyalist. Based on the current price point that's really been set in this premium travel credit card market with the American Express Platinum at $695 and the Chase Sapphire Reserve coming just below that at $550, knowing that Citi Prestige card was already at $495 all the way back in 2021, I think it's definitely safe to assume that Citi will come out with at least the same price tag as that Sapphire Reserve at $550, or potentially fitting in somewhere between the Sapphire Reserve and that American Express Platinum. So I think my bet or guess for this would be that they'll fall somewhere right around the $600 price range. I think that Citi will definitely look to play just a level above that Sapphire Reserve, offering a higher annual fee, which I actually think is a good thing, at least from a marketing perspective. With a higher price tag, you would assume that the card is actually better than that Sapphire Reserve. When it comes to how you can actually recoup the value that you're spending on that annual fee, I think it's really a guessing game, and quite honestly, your guess is as good as mine. But having that history of the Prestige card, I think we can definitely see a different version, maybe a refreshed and hopefully upgraded version of the different benefits and credits that we saw with the Citi Prestige. Some of those benefits that were nerfed, like the trip delay insurance, will I think at least come back to a competitive level, maybe not being the best in the market as it was when the Prestige card was first launched. That fourth night free benefit will likely stay within Citi's travel portal, given that a lot of issuers right now are pushing people to use their own individual portals through their own network. Other benefits like the travel credit, which was $250, could easily come back at a higher price than that, say $300 or $350. And other unique benefits like that golf course access, while that is a very niche benefit, I think that things like that, where Citi is kind of doing their own thing and finding new ways to bring value to its cardholders, can really kind of set the Strata Elite apart from these other competitors. When it comes to spending multipliers, I think these will actually make or break this card. And when I say break, I mean people will cancel after year one and then come running back as soon as they announce a Strata lounge. Again, given the history of the Prestige card, I think if the Strata Elite were to offer something like that 5x back on restaurants, or at least one category where it is the top earner across all credit cards, I think that could give them a very unique value proposition. Quite honestly, I think they need to make a big splash with a really high spending multiplier to bring people in from either outside Citi's network, or definitely something that's enticing enough to get the current Prestige card holders to switch over to this newer, more expensive Citi Strata Elite card. If they were to come back with that 5x back on restaurants, at least for us, we currently have the Amex Gold card earning 4x back on restaurants and also groceries, so I don't really think it would be worth, at least for us in our situation, switching over to Citi for all of our restaurant spending, especially to earn in a points currency with thank you points that aren't currently valued as high as American Express membership rewards. And also, we really need to consider that American Airlines is rumored to be an exclusive travel partner with Citi, but I won't believe anything until I see it, until it's officially announced that no other major credit card lender can actually transfer their points to AA. Look, I do think that no matter what those credits or spending multipliers look like, I do think that the Citi Strata Elite will be a very strong card and will likely get a big crop of people applying right away and will be very easy to get positive value from right out of the box. Thinking about the CapitalOne Venture X, that's why they've now got so many people going for that Venture X card and adding them to Capital One's ecosystem, with that being such an easy card to get positive value from with the $395 price tag, and you can easily offset that with the $300 travel credit and that $10K anniversary bonus. As I mentioned, I think that Citi really needs to come out swinging and make a big splash and really not just be another cookie cutter premium travel credit card, and I think that they will actually find unique ways to give people value that you can't get with any other premium travel credit card. And honestly, I think that the Strata Elite could potentially be the best card in the market, at least in some very few select niche ways. But at the end of the day, if it is actually launched here at the end of February or early March, which was reported by Joe Barretto from the Credit Card Connection, so shout out to my man Joe on his live last week, it will launch without their own lounge network. While the travel partners are decently competitive, it's definitely not the strongest list, especially when compared to Chase and Amex. And maybe it gets announced along with the Strata Elite when that time comes, but American Airlines still is not technically an exclusive travel partner through Citi. I think some form of limited access to the Admirals Club will be a good bridge to when they are eventually able to launch their own lounge network with the Strata lounges, but who knows how long that will actually take. Personally, I think if they were to actually launch in the next couple of months, which was reported, that it would actually be a mistake until they can at very least get some of these things sorted out, which are all unknowns right now. For me, I will not be applying right away and definitely won't be making an instant review video on the new Citi Strata Elite card and how great it is, unless they do something crazy that's a no-brainer and a huge gap in my current wallet, which maybe I don't even see right now. I really feel like I've got a good core credit card setup, but maybe this card does come out with something that makes me identify one of those gaps, so I guess never say never. I genuinely do hope that I am blown away by the card and definitely feel intrigued enough to apply, but I think as of right now, I'm in the camp of sort of wait and see when it comes to the Strata Elite card, but also Citi's ecosystem in general. So there's a lot that needs to get done by Citi in order to not only compete in this premium travel credit card market, but also to win when going up against strong cards like the CapitalOne Venture X, the Chase Sapphire Reserve, and of course the Amex Platinum card, which at least up until now has not been knocked off as the top premium travel credit card. I think there's a lot that Citi needs to do, none of which are impossible, but I think there's a lot of work to be done to make it very competitive in this space. And Citi, if you're listening, please, for the love of God, make this card metal. Some of the bend test videos that I see with cards like the Strata Premier is just embarrassing. As I said in the beginning, this is all just rumors at this point. Nothing is confirmed yet from Citi when it comes to the Strata Elite, and even the design right here that I showed you before, this is just my own take on the card, which I hope it is gold. I think this looks really cool. And I really do hope that I'm wrong on this, and I hope that Citi does change my mind, but time will tell. But let me know down below what your thoughts are on some of these rumors that are circling right now, what you think the different credits and benefits or spending multipliers could look like with this card, or maybe do you think that this card will even be released in 2025? Will it continue to be pushed back the way that it has been over the next several months, even into 2026? If you're interested to see a similar video about some of the rumors and expected changes this year for the Built card, make sure you check out this video next. Thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate all the people supporting me with your time for actually watching the videos, the likes, the subscribers. You have no idea how much all that means to me, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Cheers.